Well, you may be wondering what your crazy ag teacher is up to.
What?
Sure. Yes. Today I am not here to smash anything with a hammer. I am here to use Arm & Hammer baking soda to show you how to clean copper. Well, here we are in the shop. And you say, why am I looking at an antique fire extinguisher? It's simple, folks. I cleaned this fire extinguisher over 25 years ago. So yes, it shows I'm getting old. But what you also have to realize, it is still, what? Looking like it did pretty much the day I did it. Now, let's pan over here. This is more what it looked like. See this? This is an old copper funnel that I've already begun to work on. And the granddaddy of them all, and let's turn her this way so we can get both in the picture. Here is a copper apple butter kettle. Now notice how black it is. When you cook apple butter down, it is a very slow process, and you need a very low fire, which produces a lot of soot, which is what you can see is on here. Now, not only was there soot on this, but my uncle, who had this kettle, painted black over it because he did not know how to get the soot off. So what I'm going to show you is what you do to get not only that soot off, but clean off the green, which is nothing more than oxidation. And you can see here, this is the inside. We have cleaned this and it's pretty good. It's not quite ready, but it's pretty close. And finally, to get it to shine like this. So this is going to be a several part video, but just look at that. I can see my reflection. Yet you can still see there's age, and it has the patina that you want. So, in this video, I hope you do enjoy something you'll use, hopefully, the rest of your life. Well, I have an empty bucket from Lucky Buck that they're not allowed to put out because of chronic wasting disease. But as you can see in here, this is not some kind of a concoction that my wife has made me for lunch or supper. It's certainly not icing. This is baking soda from the bag I showed you with water. That's it. And you make it into a paste. And then I use a stick. And then what I'm simply going to do, and you can wear gloves for this, but I don't. I'm going to take some and I'm going to apply it to my copper. Now it's kind of hard to do this and film at the same time. But you see there's grit to the baking soda, fine grit by the way, and it is a basic, meaning its pH is basic, and so there's a little bit of a chemical reaction going on as well as a physical action of me rubbing. And so here's all I do. Now I'm going to put this down and then I'm going to show you what you get worked up. But you see here, look at that. With that little bit that I've already done, look how much I have taken off. I am actually shining the copper. Now, you can see I've put the kettle outside and the funnel both. And if you look, it's windy as the devil. I have let the funnel dry. It doesn't hurt at all. It's dried on the copper. Now what I'm going to do is use the hose and spray it off. But if you look at all that crud that's in it. That is removing literally all the crud because it's more than just soot. I'll show you what that looks like. Now look at that. Look how shiny. Did it get it all off? No. This is laborious. It takes a while. It takes patience. It takes multiple times. This isn't quite so bad. It is cleaning up pretty quickly. You want your old copper to have that natural patina, P-E-T-I-N-A, which is that old look. So yeah, we want it to get it to look nice, but I don't care if it has a little bit of the black, for example, on this kettle, or even a little bit of the green left there. Why? Because it's cool. It gives it that patina. It makes it look cool. By the way, if you look here, you can see how this copper kettle was made. There are teeth where they put it into the other piece. This was copper that was hammered flat into sheets, cut, and then precisely pounded together. And then down here you have not brass, but copper rivets that they put into cast iron handle. So this is a traditional apple butter kettle, and we will show you the finished product when done. But this is a project my son and I both have worked on, mainly my son Jim, because it is his project. Now I have just wiped it off with a cloth. Actually, it's a piece of old jeans that I've cut up, and look, there's still a fair amount on here, but I have gotten a good bit off, and it's just something we're going to have to continue to work at. If you look here, this is the side that I used, and look at all the green that is on there. What's that? That's the oxidation I'm removing. This is the side I used on the copper kettle, and once again, you can see, and it is removing it. Now, I'm going to show you one other handy thing to use in the arsenal of cleaning copper. This is an old watering trough, but there's not water in there. We have some vinegar, and I had some old beer, which is also acidic. I have water, and then I dump just a trace amount of muriatic acid, which is hydrochloric acid, but I don't want very much of that. Why? I can't mix my acids with my base, which is the baking soda. You don't want to do that. It's going to foam and hiss. You'll have an endothermic reaction, which means it's going to create a lot of heat. You don't want that. So I have rinsed this off. After I rinsed it, I wiped it. Now I'm going to dip it in my slight acidic solution and watch what it does. Now here we have our funnel that I just flipped over that has been sitting in the water acid mix. It's not really that acidic. This isn't like some Saddam Hussein experiment where we dump things in it to see what it dissolves. I mean, this is just simple science put into motion. But if I take some very fine steel wool, now the acid has just worked on this, and I go like this, but I don't want to go too hard. Now we're going to roll it over. Roll it back. And you can see I've got some off. Is this tedious? Yes. But when you're all said and done, you're going to have a priceless heirloom. This funnel hung in my barn for close to 100 years. My mother wanted it taken down, so I did, but now I am cleaning it up, and my son is too. So, if you have stuff like this laying around for pennies on the dollar, you can clean it up yourself using vinegar, using baking soda, common household items, and you don't get a whole lot into it. So, until we see each other again, take it easy. Oh, and one last thing. Every time you're done, rinse it off with water and wipe it. That way you don't have any residue that you don't want. If you let the copper in the acid too long, you start to get a yellow residue, which no one wants or needs, and it all wipes off. But it's good to let the chemical action do what it can, but you need a little bit of physical action. Always use either quadruple aught steel wool, or get yourself a nylon scrubby that you get at the grocery store. Either way, it's soft, and you don't want to let a bunch of scratches and swirl marks on your copper. So, really take it easy this time.